Hey everybody, Jayborino here playing some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. This is the Crucible, still on Xeris.
Travel to the birthplace of the Zerg. There, you will be tested. You may be torn apart. If your rage makes you strong enough, the power of Xeris will be yours.
Alright, unit mutation should be simple because we won't be making any Zerglings or Banelings on this map. Mutalisks, these are new. I will say just to start, rapid regeneration, I can't think of too many useful situations for this in the campaign, so I'll probably never be using this one. Vicious Glaive is good on this map because there's a ton of units as they come in, and this just makes your Glaive Worm bounce more versus Sundering Glaive, where it no longer bounces but does more damage to armored targets, which is pretty good against the bonus objective, and that's about it. I think for this one we'll go with Sundering Glaive, and we'll make some Mutalisks and we can try to hit that bonus objective quickly. That should be fine, and then for Kerrigan, she is unavailable for the majority of this mission, and we won't be making Zerglings, so let's just go with Improved Overlords. The other two don't matter. We're up to level 16 now. Let's get this show on the road. Swarm hosts coming in this map, they're not as good as you would hope for them to be based on their multiplayer versions.
You have come to this place seeking power.
Power to kill Minsk. Tell me what I must do.
The power is more ancient even than I. It comes at great cost. What will you sacrifice to have your revenge?
Everything.
You must feel the power. It calls to you. Go to it.
The Primal Zerg have been alerted to your arrival. They are coming for you.
Abathur, send me the creature you've been working on. The Swarm host.
Adapted using primal essence. Spawns locusts to kill enemies.
Yeah, when these were originally introduced in Heart of the Swarm, the Locusts just did so much more damage.
Inbound. Root swarm hosts to begin spawning.
There's not much time.
Like a lot more damage compared to what they do in the campaign, unfortunately. But here we are.
Here they come. Nothing stands in my way. This world is...
We'll just have Kerrigan take out what she can along the way.
The swarm never
Lift
rests.
these up, it'll kill them all.
Who asked you?
And then Mr. Ultralisk is all that's left. There we go.
Swarm
Thanks,
hunters.
Kerrigan. You did all the work.
Primal forces eliminated. Your path is clear.
This world is mine.
Alright, let's go dump you in some green goo and see what happens. Sounds like a good plan for the future. Long-term
Push
goals.
ahead.
Sitting in some
There's
green
not much
goo
time.
might help a little bit.
You are close. The moment draws near. Is your hate still strong enough to make the necessary sacrifice?
Now, you won't know till you try. Let's go.
Nothing stands in my way. It's a pool.
The first spawning pool. It existed before names. From this primordial place, the Zerg arose. Within, one essence split into many. One devoured another and became stronger. The first Zerg. You will have your power, and you will lose yourself. Evolve. Transform. Transcend. Recommendation: avoid pool. Catalytic fluid will overwhelm Queen's body. Not strong enough.
The Queen's hate is strong enough. And if I survive, it will remake me. I will become more powerful than the old Queen of Blades. Zagara, defend the Hive Cluster and the Chrysalis until I am done. Or dead.
Yes, my queen.
Alrighty, here we are. So we don't have a lot of units to start. We're just going to defend with what we've got and try to stay alive until we can get some more units out. Mostly spine crawlers, some spore crawlers.
We need more swarm hosts. More from the lava at our hatchery.
Nah, dog. First, we're going to take this expansion. This is mostly left alone. Not completely, but mostly. Let's go ahead and start this. There we go. And now we're just going to drone up like crazy. And we want to be able to pull these drones off in order to... We want to pull these drones off in order to make more spine crawlers. But again, that's for later. And we want to spread the creep to connect these two bases. Whoops, meant to...
The remnants of Brack's forces gather nearby. They are preparing to attack the hive cluster.
Root our swarm hosts and crawlers by that entrance.
Okay, swarm host right there is fine. And then we just dump these spine crawlers here. Try to keep these alive, and then we'll move everything else up here. And again, we don't really need to make anything else right now until we get droned up. We'll just need more spine crawlers, and that's it. So we'll just do the same thing over here and dump a bunch of stuff. I may try to get a couple more swarm hosts out for the beginning, and I would like to start missile attacks +1. In Heart of the Swarm, initially, swarm hosts functioned the same way. They popped out, they squirmed along the ground, they didn't fly, and that was it, except they did a lot more damage. This iteration, it feels like they do way less damage. There you go, good work. Okay, and let's come on down here, and we're going to throw down a different colony as well. Can move these, because they're going to come and attack us from the other direction. So let's just move on over here. Start setting up more crawlers. I know it takes you a while, buddies. You'll get there eventually. And we got these queens to help us, and then we just have to keep saturating these bases as best we can and spending our money as fast as we can. Sounds great. And let's keep spreading this creep as well, just to connect these two bases. And we're going to need some groups of spore crawlers, but not too many. Okay, this should be acceptable. We can get a few extra queens to help heal. And I want to grab a spire as soon as possible to start getting mutilisks. Mutilisks will help us defend through many of the larger attacks because they can move between both sides of the base very quickly. By the way, we got Tahaka still up here, keeping an eye on us, letting us know what he thinks, deciding whether he wants to join us later or not.
I sense another pack of Primal Zerg gathering across the basin.
Hear me, broken Zerg. You have killed Brack, but his pack survives. I claim their territory and their essence.
Okay. I don't want to have to move... I'll move the swarm host, but I don't want to have to move more of the crawlers, so let's just keep making more. This should be fine. And we're going to need some spore crawlers all over the place as well later.
The Primal Zerg factions have engaged each other.
Let them kill each other. Our focus is protecting the chrysalis. Mutation.
Indeed, we're going to need to get some spore crawlers, though, pretty soon. And we're going to need to get all of this gas set up.
I have not forgotten you, broken pack. Your leader sleeps. She will not wake. My pack will feast upon your essence.
Okay, we may lose some crawlers here, but it should be fine.
Yadras' pack is preparing to attack our hive cluster. Show these primals the fury of the swarm.
And soon we'll be able to spawn some locusts. By the way, one of the achievements of this map is to not let the chrysalis take any damage. Shouldn't have a problem with that. It's just a little risky near the end of the mission, but we should be okay until then. These crawlers won't finish in time, but that should be fine. Okay, we got these queens here. They will try to heal the locusts, which isn't that big of a deal, but I would, prefer if they didn't. They do tend to go straight for hydralisks, though. They do bonus damage to roaches. Okay, so you all move on over. Move on over to the other side. It should be fine. And then keep saturating these. And I'm going to get some mutilisks out here soon. Excellent. I am going to grab another hatchery for the larva. Because I've got money now, but I can't really spend it. Let's grab missile attacks level 2. I'll grab flyer attacks level 2. And I'm going to start pumping out mutilisks like crazy. Instant overlords is a true wonder of the world. And then let's just go ahead and set up more crawlers. Just on both sides should be fine. Again, anything to keep us safe here. And let's leave a little opening down here as well for units to get through. Okay, now they're coming from the other side. Can put these guys right here.
Mother Zagara have made important discovery. Primal essence collecting within pool. Can use spawn many locusts to defend hive cluster from primal attacks.
These primals are relentless. Spawn the locusts now. Kill them all.
Okay, will do. So they pop out of this pool. You can use it every 2 minutes. So just use it pretty much every time it's up. The other achievement is to get...
Collects quickly, use frequently.
The other achievement is to get a bunch of kills with these spawned locusts, which should not be a problem at all. Let's go ahead and grab these mutalisks. We are going to be supply blocked here momentarily, though. Some more overlords over here. Okay, looking good. We are going to need swarm hosts on the other side. So I guess let's just go ahead and split these up. And grab a few more swarm hosts just to kind of close the gap on both of these sides. We are harvesting gas from all of these, right? Yeah, so it's mostly just going to be resources, minerals, I should say. And we're going to want to move down and kill the optional objective. The mastery is to kill the bonus very quickly, which is not super important, but we want to try to do that. We'll bring the mutalisks over here to protect against this because we don't have enough swarm hosts. We will soon, and then just keep making those mutalisks. Okay, let's bring these fellas down here. You can make it, buddy. Don't get caught.
Yadra has sent a force of primal flyers to attack the Chrysalis.
Okay, we'll just intercept those. They decided to come in this way. There we go. And we just wrote flying with the mutalisks. And let's back them up so we're not losing too many. And I could spawn locusts. I'll just save them for the next round. That should be fine. And then keep making mutalisks. We need overlords.
We require
I'm going to wait for these mutalisks to spawn, and then I'm going to send them down to attack the bonus pretty much as soon as possible. We're going to need a little bit more defense over at this base, so that's why I'm setting these up. That should do it. And I'm going to need more spore crawlers down here. Spore and spine crawlers.
mutation complete.
And the bonus, I think it's to kill the Tyrannozor within 1 minute of its spawning. This should be able to do it.
I sense a powerful presence. A massive primal.
Tyrannozor, savage, extreme physical prowess, essence useful, must acquire.
No simple matter. To reach it, we must cross the battle between Brack and Yadra's packs.
Alright, done.
Tyrannozor sample acquired. Will research primal essences further.
The primals are constantly being reinforced. Find a way past them. Both packs are moving against us. Prepare for a pincer attack.
Okay, shouldn't be a problem. I'm just going to keep making these crawlers.
Cluster is under attack.
This is why I built some extra crawlers in this direction. And then you all come on down here and just make more spine crawlers. Tons of spine crawlers and spore crawlers. Should do it just fine. We're going to spawn the locusts now. That should give us a bunch of kills. Okay, keep making drones. And this should do it. I could make more... I could also just make more swarm hosts, and let's keep getting upgrades as well. So, ground carapace should be useful, too, to keep these alive.
Our queen's metamorphosis is halfway complete. Maintain our defense.
Okay, and we got some queens here to help us defend, and then we got the mutalisks that we can split up and send to either side at our discretion. And now, I think with our extra supply and such, we just get swarm hosts.
We require...
Because while the mutalisks are good, we don't really need them. We just, build a bunch of the crawlers, and everything will be fine. So, let's just grab one more spore here. Getting some more spores down there. The next thing I'm also going to do is start setting up defense down here. In order to do that, we need some creep tumors, because they're going to start attacking these rocks, and that's where the mutalisks will come into play. Let's just keep making drones, and then we'll use the drones
The hive cluster is under attack.
to make more spine crawlers. Great. Why don't we move you up a little bit, get you a little more involved. And we can spawn locusts here for the next attack. 10 seconds. And keep the creep tumors a little bit closer to these rocks near the unbuildable terrain so that they don't interrupt anything we try to build there later. All right, we got the Primal Locusts coming in. The only thing is because they're flying, they tend to only go for stuff that attacks air first, whereas for Earth, they just hit whatever was closest to them first. Okay, this is more than enough stuff. Let's go ahead and move you all over here. And burrow, and then let's set up more crawlers. There we go, that should do it. This is, you know, plenty of stuff, I think, for both sides, really. It's just making sure that we have enough stuff for when they break through the rocks. So let's get 6 more swarm hosts, more drones, and then we're going to set up a bunch of spine crawlers down here. Looks like we just a little bit off with the creep. Here, right there. How about that? And every so often, yeah, see, they send in these flying attacks, which is no problem. How are we doing on upgrades? There we go. We get the +2. We still have this group of Mutalisks if we need it. And let's just get 3 more Overlords to finish up to get to 200.
Our forces are under attack.
And then these units don't know what to do. I mean, these guys can't get in, so they're going to die, unfortunately. They wanted to walk up here, but they can't make it. So I think what I'll do is just remove this hatchery from my hotkeys. We have more locusts, so let's spawn them, even though they're not really necessary anymore for the remainder of the map. But that is okay. I don't mind. Okay, so let's pull off some drones now to actually build down here. Still can't quite fit what I'm looking for right there, but that's okay. And maybe 2 more to go down along the edge. That should be able to hit the stuff that's down there, and we're going to need some spore crawlers down there too. Not a ton, and we'll just use the Mutalisks again to kind of fly around and ensure that stuff isn't getting killed in this general vicinity. Eventually, Vipers will come, and they're really irritating because they'll try to pull your swarm hosts to them. These actually are probably going to block the drone. There you go. Move on over here, buddies. All right, here, this group is coming to attack the rocks. We can actually kill them before they even get there.
The Primal Zerg are destroying the rocks near the Chrysalis.
Okay, and I really don't need the additional melee upgrades, but that's fine. And maybe we just get a few more spine crawlers down here, spore crawlers along the edges. Because what else are we really spending our money on if not just crawlers at this point? So yeah, sure. Let's do it. This looks good. Just like that, yeah. And make sure those get pulled into the spore crawlers. And with that in mind, we don't want to build more spine crawlers down there because it'll just lure them into the wrong places. So right there is fine. Let's spawn some locusts because we're getting hit on both sides. Still 6 minutes, which is pretty darn forgiving if you ask me.
The chrysalis opens. Our queen is close to waking.
Okay, nice that some Primal Locusts went down in that direction as well. They're still going this way, killing those Guardians. It looks like they did manage to snipe whatever was there. And I'll just remake some drones. So that one's a pretty large attack. Eventually, I think one of the attacks diverts and hits this, which is a little annoying. I'm not even using these Mutalisks, and I don't have to. And if anything, maybe we just get some queens so that they can just sit near our stuff and heal them. So we've got, what, 6 swarm hosts here and 9 there, so we'll make 3 more. That'll get us close to fully supply blocked. I'm not sure why this is even spawning still. And I'm not going to spread... I don't think that they benefit from creep. I'm pretty sure they don't. We'll keep an eye on it, but I'm fairly certain that they don't benefit from creep. I was going to say, it kind of stops me from spreading the creep, but it's not really necessary in any case. If they break these rocks, that's fine. I'll just spawn... And I'm also planning on spawning more locusts. It's nice that they kind of gather here and you can get an idea of what they're going to attack you with, but also not super necessary. Okay, so burrow over here. Get another one set up over here. That's 10 over there. 10 over here. Spawn the Locusts. Again, we should have more than enough kills on these now. We killed the Tyrannozor in under 1 minute. Kerrigan's Chrysalis is on track to not taking any damage. We'll see. I think it should be fine. Could spread some creep down here, too. Oh, I meant to see if I could see... I meant to see if I could tell if they were going to be coming in with the move speed increases. We can tell here, actually. No, it doesn't look like they benefit from it. Yeah, at this rate, they won't even get through the rocks until the very end.
Attack is strong. We claim essence. We devour. The broken Zerg remain. Collect their essence. Kill.
Yandra's forces are gathering. They are converging upon the hive cluster.
I'm just going to kill this stuff before it links up with any of their other units. A little too late, but that's okay. They just sort of run up there. Again, we should have more than enough stuff. If anything breaks through, it'll either be right here or down here. But we've got the locusts that are going to be spawning here pretty soon. And we just don't let them get through these rocks, because that's also very close to the Chrysalis. And in the grand scheme, it doesn't even matter. We should be able to use this one more time at the very end. I just used it right now to take some pressure off. But it's an endless stream of units. Just going to kill these Vipers before they get close and can do anything. And look, I mean, we've killed so much that our Locusts don't even know where to go. Minute 52 left. I think the beginning of this one can be a little tricky, but for the most part, it's not too bad. If you can survive the first 3 waves, you'll probably have enough stuff that you will be just dandy. Also, these guys are 2-2 now, so they do a little bit more damage and can tank a lot more. We also just have more of them in general. Don't do that. See, this is why I built 1 spore colony there. Make sure you re-burrow these things or reroute these things, otherwise they can't shoot locusts anymore. I don't even know where to send these Mutalisks. I think we're fine. I guess we'll send him over here, because this side feels a lot safer.
Defend the Chrysalis. The swarm will prevail.
There's enemies endlessly spawning from 4 different locations. They still haven't even gotten through these rocks yet. If you set this up preemptively, they'll never be able to get through. Okay, send him up here. We can use these. I like how the Chrysalis just looks like a balloon at this point. You can see her in there. There she is. She's pulsating. Alright. So you have like a semi-small group of Mutalisks, and they will be able to ensure that anything errant gets killed, like Guardians, like these Guardians that are stacking up out here. It's good to have Mutalisks that can fly back and forth and kill them. Granted, the Spawn Locust cooldown, just use that when it's up, and you'll probably be just dandy as well. Mengsk has the artifact. All right, zero damage taken by the Chrysalis. We got 142 kills with the Locust. We need 75, so almost doubled it. And Tyrannozor lived 32 seconds. You got to do it under a minute. And so we got the Mastery too. And then don't let the Chrysalis take any damage. Cool, this went very well. We got our bonus level. Let's go back to the Leviathan and show off our cool purple spine form.
Isha, what is a Primal Zerg doing on my Leviathan?
I am Dehaka, one who collects. I kill. I take essence. Now I come to you because I feel your change. All Xeris feels it. All Xeris fears it. And you.
But you don't fear me, do you, Dahaka?
You shine. You will bring more essence, and I will follow. When you do not, I will not.
Well, I forged alliances on shakier ground than that. Very well, you can stay. Betray me and I'll collect your essence.
Yes.
My favorite thing about Dahaka is his little beard thing. It's great.
You radiate so much power, more than the old Queen of Blades ever did.
Everything is different. I could always hear the swarm, control it. But now, I feel the swarm. Now I am the swarm. I feel a power, like nothing I've known before. I look like the leader of the swarm now. Perhaps this will help bring more brood mothers back into the fold.
You were the true leader of the swarm yesterday, and you will be tomorrow. Your appearance does not matter.
Perhaps not to you. The Terrans will not be so understanding. Do you think the remaining pack leaders will join me now?
They are a rock, a tree, a hill. They will stand against the wind. They seek power.
And you?
I am a river. I will flow. I seek essence.
Well, the pack leaders have no chance against the swarm now.
They gather essence for thousands of years. They are blinded, but they are not foolish. You have been reborn. A primal pack leader of boundless power.
I feel as if I can rip worlds apart.
And are you the equal of Amon, who once controlled you?
He never controlled me. I felt an influence. A trace of something dark but long gone. Amon must have died before I was infested.
I hope it is so, for he truly could rip worlds apart.
Spooky.
Genetic strands different. Restructured from base level up. Stronger than Queen of Blades. Sequences complex but clean. Completely different at core.
Yes, I am different. I am my own master. When the Xel'Naga artifact made me human again, it cleansed me of Amon's influence. And that allowed me to become something greater.
Must take sample. Study new sequences.
Don't even try, Abathur. What I am now is beyond your comprehension.
Difficult to admit. New structure beyond understanding. Will return to work.
I mean, you can give him like a blood sample or something, you know? So next mission's only micro, so why not take a look at the swarm host mutations while we're at it. One allows them to fully burrow instead of just root. Again, this is similar to like the rapid regen of the Mutalisks. It's hard to see a great use for this. Rapid incubation is nice just because they spawn the locusts just a little bit faster. Pressurized glands, they can attack both air and ground. So I think either of these is fine. I'm probably just going to stick with rapid incubation. I don't make many swarm hosts, but as I've said, I typically play through Heart of the Swarm in one particular way, and I'm trying to vary that. So based on the remaining missions left, I'm going to try to think of some sort of new strategy so it's not just wild mutation, attack a base, wild mutation, attack a base. You know, maybe we'll try some swarm hosts, maybe we'll try broodlords or vipers or something, you know, something different, just to kind of keep things interesting, as opposed to how I played it my initial recording session through in the old series. All right, this has been Jayborino. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
I will accept the consequences of my actions when that day comes.
You said it.